Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing really well. In this video, I'm going to discuss one of my favorite things and parts of my home theater, and that is my lighting setup. I've managed to get my lighting done exactly how I want. However, there is one big flaw, and I'm going to discuss it coming right up. So when I set up my home theater in 2019, I was looking for a remote that I could use to control all aspects of the home theater. So naturally, having used the Harmony remote before, back in 2007, it had a colored touchscreen and it worked really well and was able to do quite a few things. Even back then, when I think about it, I assumed naturally that the new Harmony Hub and the Harmony Elite would be able to do pretty much anything that I wanted. When I looked into it, I could see that it could support smart lighting and smart home devices, and you could also control all the devices that I was going for, which was like my Pioneer receiver, my Epson projector, and also all of my Apple TVs. So I thought, this is perfect. I made the mistake of not looking in the fine detail because there is a catch to this. One of the cool things about going to the movies, which I used to love, is when the curtains used to open and the lights would dim and then the movie would start. And having a home theater, and I'm sure a lot of you out there also would appreciate this, I wanted to have that same effect. Now, I couldn't do it with curtains because I just don't have the real estate on either side of the screen. But I thought for sure I'm going to be able to do it with my lighting, and using the Harmony remote, surely I'll be able to do it. So, I went and bought it, I plugged it in, I started configuring it, and no, it just does not work. Now, I thought maybe I was doing it wrong, maybe there was something about the way I was setting it up that just didn't work. But the more I dug in, the more I could see that on the forums, there's a lot of people complaining that this remote cannot do this. It can manually dim and it can manually raise your lights by mapping to a smart button on the remote. However, if you wanted to link it to a sequence, so say you hit the pause button or the play button, if you wanted to link it to, okay, say pause whatever's playing and then do something else such as bring the lights down, the option just is not there. Now, I cannot understand Logitech's reasoning in removing this feature because it makes no sense. If you can map it to a button, surely you could map it to another activity or a button. It just makes no sense to me at all why they would leave this out. So I dived into that rabbit hole and I tried to find workarounds and ways of getting it done, and there are some ways, and I will elaborate on these ways later on in the video, but at the time I was like, no, this is just crazy, and I pretty much just abandoned it. So it went into the cupboard, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to work out my own way of doing it. So I set up a Python script on my Plex server, and then I used some API calls and webhooks to get that to work. And yes, that works fine, but it only works for Plex. I would love it to work for pretty much all the things that I want to enjoy in this theater. And they could be watching movies through the PS4 when I hook my PS4, or when I get my PS5, because I do plan on getting a PS5. The release was today, and I will cover that in a new video. But I would like to be able to, no matter what the device is, when I hit that pause button and I hit that play button, I want the lights to dim and come back up. Might seem like a small thing or something that I should just, forget about. But I went to a lot of trouble and expense to get the lighting into this room. And the fact that I can do it with my Plex setup using just a normal Apple TV remote, because the commands are all done server side, I can't understand why I shouldn't be able to do it with my Harmony. Potentially Logitech may have abandoned the Harmony ecosystem, although I don't know because it's been around for quite some time. I bought it brand new last year, but I can't see any difference between this one and the one that was released a couple of years ago. It is great to have buttons mapped to LIFX so that I can control the lighting through the remote, but I would like to be able to do what the remote is intended to do, and that is to be able to create macros and activities and to streamline things. It seems to defeat the entire purpose of having this remote if it can't do something simple like bring the lights up when you hit pause and bring them back down when you hit play. I'm getting fired up here, guys, because to me it just should work. And I remember this is how fired up I got this time last year when I abandoned the whole thing and I went my own way. But as time progresses, I'm really wanting to be able to use this one remote to control everything. So while I was trying to get this to work, I contacted my good friend Matt Ording over in Georgia in the United States, And I asked him, because I knew he had a Harmony Elite because I did a room tour. I'll link it up there. You can check out his awesome home theater. And he has a Harmony Elite. And I thought, look, now's the perfect chance I can ask him, see how he went. So yeah, he gave it a crack too. And no, it didn't work for him either. So it looks like Logitech have intentionally gimped this remote control so that you can't do what I think this whole thing was intended to do, and that is to group things together and make it so that you can press one button and do a bunch of other things. They only allow you to put the lighting or any other kind of smart device control at the start and the end of an activity. That's the extent of it. So you can create your activity like watch movie. And then when you've created that and you've added your receiver, you've added your Apple TV or whatever device you're going to use, at the beginning of that, once you've saved it and you go back in, you can then say, oh, I'll tick some lights. And then you can select the state of those lights, and then you can choose what happens when the activity ends. So, right, that's great for when I want to start the activity. But generally speaking, what I found the way I use the hub is that you want to start the activity off before you've really settled into what you're doing. Like you say, okay, fire up the projector or watch a movie, and then it just goes tick, 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 turns on the projector, turns on the Apple TV, and yeah, at that point you can dim the lights or you can brighten the lights. That's it. But what happens when I want to play the movie? Nothing. Can't control it. So to me, that's a huge oversight, and I'm yet to understand Logitech's reasoning in doing this. I would love it if someone who may know could comment down below and let me know. I'm sure this has been going on for a while, and there's a lot of cranky people out there that would love to get this to work. So whether or not they can push it out via a firmware update, maybe they've gated this for their Harmony Elite Pro, or Harmony Pro as I think it's called. I can't even tell on that. When I look at the documentation, it says exactly the same thing that the Elite one does. But sorry, buddy, you can't map your lighting to a sequence. Pretty annoying. I gotta tell you, it's really got me fired up. Have a drink. But I just thought I would put this out there now. Anyone that has any experience with this Harmony Elite, and whether or not you've managed to get universal pause and play dimming and brightening of lights in your home theaters, let me know down in the comment section below. If you liked the video, please smash the like button for me. And if you enjoy content like this, please subscribe to the channel. We also have a thriving Discord community, so I'll leave links in the description down below for you to join our community and be part of the conversation. And it's one way of connecting with people in this same hobby that we have, which is the never-ending quest for perfection that I call the home theater hobby. Right, that's it for this one. You'll catch me in the next one. Bye for now.